Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again so much for our time together. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. Today is going to be a great day in God's house. We have the children's Christmas musical and all the services today except 7:30 South. Pastor A is going to give my voice a little bit of a break there. As you can hear, it kind of needs it. Pastor A is going to be preaching in South Campus today. But when you come to the services today, may I encourage all of our leaders. Make sure you pick up your 2015 Leaders Journal. It is free. We'll be happy to give that to you. Now, if you're not a leader and you say, well, I would like one of those journals, because really the organization is laid out. We do have about 500 extra. That's it. We've got about 500 extra. You can pick these up in the bookstore for 100 pesos. We just like to sell them and give them to our members as cheap as possible. Also, all day in the services today, after the service, make sure you pick up your Read the Bible in a Year for 2015. We want to encourage all of you to get this. We made it very colorful this year to help you follow along a little bit better. But right now, let me begin to take you back to the book of Revelation. I said all month we're going to talk devotionally from the book of Revelation, not theologically, not prophetic calendar, not ecclesiology or eschatology or Christology or soterology, but just a devotional thought. There's a little thought over here in chapter 14, verse 9. It says, "The third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark on the forehead or on the hand, he too will drink of the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. He will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment rises forever and ever. There is no rest day or night for those who worship the beast and his image, or anyone who has received the mark of his name. This calls for patient endurance on the part of the saints who obey God's commands and have remained faithful to Jesus." Now, there's a lot of truth in there. There's a lot of incredible truth in there about the mark of the beast and all of these things. But what I want you to notice today is that there are some decisions in life that there are no do-overs for. When people make a decision to worship the devil, when people make a decision to get the mark of the beast upon their hands later during the tribulation, when people make that decision, these are permanent decisions. There are no do-overs. Now, we live in a world where everybody gets a second chance. We live in a world where everybody gets do-overs, and we've raised a new generation among the millennials who take for granted mercy and take for granted grace and take for granted that God is the God of a second chance, if we can use that old saying. But I want you to understand that in some decisions, there are no do-overs. There are some decisions that the human soul makes in full knowledge of God, which by this point in time, people have seen the reality of God during the tribulation. There are decisions that people make in full knowledge of the reality of God. They've seen God's power, they've seen Satan's power, and they choose Satan's power. They've seen God, they've seen Satan, and they worship Satan. Now, people often ask me, why is it that a God of grace and a God of love didn't forgive the angels, that when 1/3 of the angels fell, there is no salvation for them? Because they made that decision in full knowledge. And when you make decisions like that in full knowledge, there are no do-overs. There are no, oops, I made a mistake. No, you didn't make a mistake. You made a decision. Let me say that again. Oops, no, you didn't make a mistake. You made a decision. Maybe the wrong decision, but you made the decision. I want to challenge you today. Don't mess around with Satan. Don't mess around with songs that worship Satan. Young people, listen to me. This stuff where you begin to worship Satan and sing to Satan and the songs that they come out with today, don't go down that path. Satan is a power. Satan is a force. Satan is real. And God looks at people when they've made that decision to worship Him. There are no do-overs.